Brad Stevens, meanwhile, is like the messiah today.
I've been hearing about this.
Now, like, let's not put the carriage before the horse here and say that he's better than Greg Popovich. Everyone, again, calm down.
Sometimes we need that reminder in sports.
To calm down?
Calm down, fans.
Like, Greg Popovich, Brad Stevens. Greg Popovich, there's going to be an entire statue outside of San Antonio. Brad Stevens, they haven't got the concrete yet.
But like, but Brad Stevens' coaching tree is extensive, and it's really,
totally
a bunch of winners come out of that.
Totally. So here's what occurred on why it's like, okay, biggest moments of the game. You can coach forever, but what do fans remember? Clutch moments down the stretch.
The timeouts and what play gets called coming out of it, and how well. This far as the coach, remember what the coach has done in those clutch moments. Yeah.
So Al Horford had the game winner because of Brad Stevens. Here's how it went down.
Regulation. Having trouble again inbounding, fires to Horford underneath. Horford gets it to go. 1 point lead for Boston. Timeout Philly with 5.5 remaining in overtime.
So he knew, as most NBA teams do, out of timeouts, especially when you're on the sideline, they're going to switch screens. What he did was take Terry Rozier completely out of the play. So now you got 4-on-4. He ran 2 screens. So Al Horford then had a humongous mismatch with Bob Covington, Chicago, Illinois. And yeah, we actually have it in form. So this is actually the first play, which is totally cool. So this is the play to Jaylen Brown. Here's Al Horford. And then a little later on, what you're gonna see is it actually didn't matter because the Sixers thought that Jaylen Brown was going to be moving around, made a basket cut, had 2 points. On top of that, here was the final play broken down once more. Al Horford is being guarded by Joel Embiid, right? You see him to the left, number 21. Next slide will show, after the pin down, Ben Simmons switches to Jason Tatum. They were basically playing, they were lining up accordingly. And Al Horford, as you're gonna see right there, nobody is on him. However, real quick, what is really important is this next video, because Brad Stevens averted disaster. And this is why he is 2 steps ahead of what seems like a lot of other coaches, including Brett Brown, who, by the way, came from the Greg Popovich tree. He has been out-coaching Brett Brown throughout this entire series. Here is the vital play that set up Al Horford's game winner.
Driving on Simmons, trying to go baseline, lost the ball. Morris now with 10 to shoot. Morris pulls up over Simmons, they're gonna wave it.
Marcus Morris, who Brad Stevens does not want the ball in his hands.
Why?
Prevents disaster, calls timeout, and sets up the Horford play.
Because he saw there was nothing else for him to do except for eventually dribble back and forth and pull up.
Yes.
Now, you're okay with Morris taking a shot if it's open and he's getting his catch and shoot. I can trust that, but I don't want him dribbling and setting up. He saw that coming. He's
right.
Everyone who watches basketball without watching just the ball can look around him and see where everyone else is, what options this guy has with the ball, and where he is on the floor. And you go, oh, he has to shoot. Right. You notice what someone has to do.
And they had 2 timeouts left. Yes. So, am I okay with him taking an open jumper if it's the design play?
Sure.
Yeah. But if you have a few timeouts to spare and you're still not super deep into the shot clock, then yes.
You
kill a timeout.
Yeah.
Marcus Morris,
disrespect to him.
No, of course not. Yeah. But he's the 4th option. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Terry Rozier, and 5th. He's the 5th option. Brad Stevens saw that Marcus Morris, the 5th option on a game winner, was going to take the game-winning shot. He's like, let's calm down again.
Right.
Let's call timeout.
Yeah. And another thing, by the way, also good on the Sixers to make sure he has the ball, to keep it off from other people's hands. You play defense.
What was a broken play, first off?
Yeah, but then because they broke it up,
Yes, of course. Jaylen Brown lost control of the ball underneath the basket. It dribbled to Marcus Morris, and then Brad Stevens made a great play. However, maybe we shouldn't be that surprised, because years ago, when Brad Stevens was hired in 2014, 2015, here was his team. I think this is important to look back on because he had success with these guys. Isaiah Thomas, who no one wants anymore, Jeff Green, Avery Bradley, Jared Sullinger, Brandon Bass, Kelly Olynyk. I like Brandon Bass, but let's be real. With this team, you're not gonna win a lot of games. Brad Stevens ended up winning 40. I know that they had a losing season, But to go 40 and 42, which is the next slide, that's so impressive. That is so impressive. And granted, the Eastern Conference was bad. He still proved that he was good. They got swept by the Cavs, but whatever. On top of that, the very next season, a lot of the same cast, but they add Jay Crowder, they add Evan Turner. Those are not, sorry, Hall of Fame worthy players. And he won 48 games that season. This is a damn good coach. And this was a great hire by Danny Ainge, and now it's being exemplified. Going back to the Al Horford play, super quick, then I want to get your reaction. How good is Brad Stevens out of timeouts? He designed a play at Green Bay in which Matt Howard went through the lane for an uncontested dunk. Buzzer beater, game winner. Matt Howard then went on Twitter to say, we actually ran essentially the play you saw last night a few times 7 to 8 years ago on late game or late shot clock side out. People who don't think Horford was the primary option proves the great design of this play, and Al Horford went on the record saying Brad is a genius. Thoughts?
Well, the problem is we've now talked too much, not us, but we as a collective people on this whole game have talked too much about Brad Stevens and his play calling, his design, and his genius. Because now it's been exposed. He's got to come up with some new stuff. Because apparently he ran this 7, 8 years ago, Green Bay, and he's got to call something else out because now we've seen it.
Isn't basketball pretty simple?
Yeah.
Like Kobe even said a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, like you know what the offense is probably going to run. You just got to find a way to stop it.
No, that's what I was going to say. The genius came in. Somehow Brad Stevens knew that Bob Covington was going to completely misplay the inbound pass. Because what you don't do is front him when you're
great call.
Severely out. You have a size difference. You have mismatch.
He's giving up like 6 inches.
Get behind him, and make him take a tougher shot than a layup.
Yes, absolutely.